Hello everybody, welcome to part 11 on how to build your own solar panel. So I'll be starting with the soap dish I talked about in the last video. What I'm going to do is go ahead and take this screw out actually and drill 2 screw holes in here and attach this to the back. Okay, so I went ahead and drilled my first hole, and I'll just show you. I'm going to drill a pilot hole here. Alright, and also have to remember, make sure you don't get too close to the edge, otherwise you're going to hit that glass and break it and you're going to be in all sorts of trouble. So I did my pilot hole again. Okay, so now that's secure on there, and we're going to go from there. Okay, so now you're going to have, you got your 2 holes in the bottom, that's nice and secure in there. And now you need your 2 holes in this side, 2 holes in this side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, now you get your hole. Okay, so from here, you're actually going to have 4 wires. 2 for this panel, and 2 for this panel. But because each panel only makes 6 volts each, that we need to connect them together. So, positive on this one is going to be hooked up to the negative on that one. And just so you don't get confused, we'll hook those together right now. Actually, just stick those off to the side. Alright, so went ahead and drilled 4 holes in the side here, and eventually we'll drill 2 more to protect that connection. So I inserted the positive on this one and went ahead and soldered the tip, and that is where the blocking diode is going to be connected. So I took the blocking diode, curved the end, and we're just going to insert those like that. And get your needle nose and crimp them together. And because there's going to be a lot of heat generated when we go to solder these, we're going to use these as heat sinks. And I'll put one there and one there, because the heat from the soldering iron is really would fry that. So we'll use those for heat sinks and keep the heat off it. Okay. So went ahead and soldered the joint here, and I tested this on the ohms meter, and it worked just fine. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the same to the other side. Okay, so went ahead and made the connection on the other end here, and kind of pushed it off to the back. So what I'm going to do now is have one of the black wires come through this one, and I also forgot, this is connected to the spool still, so I'm going to get my black one, put that on this end, and take this one, insert it in there, and go ahead and solder them together. Okay, so I've got all my soldering done, and I'm going to try my best to explain what I did here. Each solar panel has a positive and a negative, negative, and what you need to do is hook them up to where it makes 12 volts. So the positive on this one, which goes out, has the blocking diode on it, which actually goes to your solar regulator, or charge control, whichever you want to call it. And the negative on this one needs to go to the positive on the other one. So I have them soldered together. And then the negative on this one is also soldered to the spool. which, depending on how long you need it, you'll have to cut it at that length. So, as this produces power, from the sun, power is going to flow through this one, through the blocking diode, and out, and here's your negative. But when it's out of the sun, it's in the shade or it's nighttime, these things will actually want to suck back the power. So the blocking diode allows power to only go one way, so it will flow out, but at nighttime, it'll be stopped. So it's actually not going to drain your batteries back. So that is the basic wiring, and if I would have thought ahead of time, I would have used the heat shrink, where you just wrap it around, heat it up, and it forms up over the wires real tight. But I didn't, so I have to just use electrical tape, and I'm going to wrap them up, caulk up the little, I'm going to use silicone, and silicone up all the holes here, all 6 of the holes, and cover it up with my cover, and then I'm going to probably silicone around that to make it a nice tight seal. And I think that's about it. I'm just going to go ahead and hook it up, show you guys what kind of power it makes, and I think that's about it for the final video on the solar panel. Okay, so just wanted to show you guys, I flipped it over. I did use electrical tape and wrapped up the wires to help make a seal, and I eventually have to, once I put that back on, use some more silicone and seal it around there to make a nice tight seal. But this seems to be pretty good, and it was, I think they were $1.99, and you get plenty of room in there for all your wiring and stuff. So it's a pretty good thing to use. We'll go ahead and flip it over. And this is not the optimal angle to use, but I just thought I'd do that real quick. So I have this hooked up and the meter turned on, and it's kind of jumping around. But right now I'm getting 1854, 1850. So I think it's going to settle right around 18. Once you factor in, the heat, as this thing heats up, it's going to cause resistance. So it should settle down around 18 or so. Well, that is the end of the video series on how to build your own solar panel. I definitely hope it helps some people if you want to make your own power. This is a pretty cheap way to do it. Nothing's really that complicated with it. And it doesn't look that bad. I probably could have made it look a little better, but I don't think it looks that bad. And I am going to paint these, because I think in the elements these aren't going to last forever. They'll probably last, I don't know, a year or so. But if you paint them, they'll stand more of a chance of lasting probably a few years. But even if they don't, they're not terribly expensive to replace. So, okay, in a future video, probably down the road, I'll show you the solar stands, and as I have all these on my solar stands, show you what they look like and stuff. So, okay, I appreciate you watching the whole video series, and I hope it helps somebody out there. Alright, take care, and God bless.